Good morning, students. How are you all? Good. So, last class we already completed our chapter, light chapter. Yes or no? So, today we will start a new chapter, that is water, a precious resource. Okay. So, water, a precious resource. Before we will start our new chapter, first tell me, what do you mean by resource? Who can say? Anyone having any idea about the resource? So remember, the things which are present in our surroundings and fulfill the requirements of living organisms, that known as resource. And remember, resources are two types. Okay, one is natural, another is artificial. Okay, or otherwise known as man-made resources. Yes or no? So who can give the examples, some natural and artificial resources? So natural resource means those are obtained from nature, like air, water, sunlight, soil, plants, etc. Okay, like that. And artificial or man-made resource means which are made by us, like the human beings. Okay, that means you can take example of mobile phones or buildings, roads, etc. Okay, so these are the example of natural and artificial resources. You know that the natural resources like air, water, sunlight, soil, plants, and also artificial resources, all are essential for us. Yes or no? So why we are only telling the water is a precious resource? Other are also resources. Without them, without air we cannot survive also. Without soil we cannot survive. Without sunlight we cannot survive. And whatever things which are made for us, for our use, without them also we cannot survive. Yes or no? But why we are telling that water is a precious resource? Because in our body, in a human body, that is the 70% our body is full of water. And whatever the other things, they are the bones or bloods, whatever may be. But 70% of water found in human body. And you know that without water, no life is possible. And water is useful in our day-to-day life. How? Now in your day-to-day life, you are brushing, you are washing your clothes, you are cooking your food. And in your body, inside your body, your digestion, absorption, assimilation, everything, every process is helpful by the water. Okay, so that water is a precious resource for us. Yes or no? Now we will see the distribution of water. Okay. Distribution of water. Okay. So, if we will be think that on the earth, that is the 71, if we will think that it is the earth, okay, from that 71% of water cover to the earth and remaining 29% that is the land mass. That is water. Okay, and 71% that written in our book, but in standard 9 in biology also water chapter, here written 75%. Okay, So there are also given two data. But in our book, that is 71% of water bodies are there, so that we will consider this. Okay. These are the water bodies. Okay. So there are 71% of water bodies present on the earth and 29% that is land mass. Okay. So see another graph. If this is the total water body of the earth, total water body, okay, from that is 97.5. How much? 97.5% of water, they are saline water or salty water. Okay, and only remaining 2.5% that is fresh water. See, on the earth there is 71% of water body covered to the earth. Yes or no? And so that when we look our earth from the sky, that looking the blue. That's why also our earth is known as blue planet. But from that water body, 97.5% of water are saline water, salty water. That means this water cannot use for the any purpose. It means it cannot use for your agriculture or washing or industrial case. This water cannot be used. Okay. So remaining 2.5%, that is the fresh water. All over the world, people are using only 2.5% of water, not 2.5% of water also. See another data. From the, if this is the 2.5% of water, okay, 2.5% of fresh water. From that, 1.7% water found in the glacier state or ice state. This water percentage also cannot used by the any human beings or any animals or any living organisms. Only the 0.7, this 0.7, that is the normal water and fresh water, which are using by the all over the world people. Okay, we have lot of water, but we are using only 0.7% of water. So that we are also in some part of the India also or a world also, we are facing water scarcity. Okay, from 0.7%, only the fresh water. Okay, now we will see the forms of water. Okay, see. Okay, what do you mean by forms of water? It means the water present in which stage. Remember, on water on the earth found in the 3 stages. Okay, first one is solid, liquid, and last one is gas. Okay, solid means that is ice. Okay, and liquid, that is normal water you are using in your day-to-day life, and gas means water vapors. Okay, so these are the 3 stages of the water: solid, liquid, gas. Okay, they both are in the different stages, but they are internally connected with each other. How? Let's see. See, here is the solid. Suppose ice. Ice is solid or not? Solid. We will give it heat. It will be changes to normal water or water particles. Yes or no? If these water particles we will decrease the temperature or cooling, that will be again changes to ice stage. Yes or no? Next, if the water particles will be heated, that will be changes to water vapor. Yes or no? That changes to water vapor. And if water vapor on cooling, that changes to water particles. See, ice, it is a solid. Okay, when we are giving heat, that will be changes to water particles, that is liquid. Okay, and water particles, that is liquid. When we will cool it, then it will changes to ice. It means solid. And water particles also gas, and it changes to water particles on heating. Okay, so these are the internally connected with each other. If you will be say this process, ice changes to water liquid on heating, that process is known as melting. Okay, when water particles changes to ice, that process is known as cooling. Okay, when water particles changes to water vapor, that process is known as evaporation. And when water vapor again changes to water particles, this process is known as condensation. Okay, so these are the four processes. First one, ice changes to water particles, that process is known as melting. And the water particles changes to ice on cooling, that process is known as freezing. Okay, that process is known as freezing. Then water particles changes to water vapor on heating, that process is known as evaporation. And water vapor again changes to water particles on cooling, that process is known as condensation. It means you will think that, sir, if we will be get from ice to water particles, then we will be write a long process. No, we can get it easy way. Okay, how? See it. See, here is ice. Yes or no? It is in which stage? Solid. Okay. We will give it heat. Okay. Let's write it. Heating. It will be changes to water particles. That is liquid. Yes or no? And this water particles on cooling, that will be again changes to ice in a solid state. Okay. Next, when these water particles will be heating, that changes to water vapor. Which is the gas. Okay. Again, these water vapors can convert to water particles on cooling. Okay. So shortly we can write all those processes. Okay. So these are about the forms of water present on the earth. Okay. And have you ever think why water is present on the earth? We are using every day, every time, not you, not me, everyone is using water. Yes or no? So why it is not ending? And nowadays also we are thinking that one day will be come the water will be end. So that we are also making also advertisement, save water, save earth. Okay. So why water is present? Now water is present only one thing, due to the rain only. Due to the rain only. Then why or how this rains is falling on the earth? Okay, let's see. So this how rain falling on the earth, we have to find a process, but that known as water cycle. Water cycle. Okay. What do you mean by water cycle? What do you mean by water cycle? Water cycle means the continuous movement of water from the surface of the earth to the space and from the space to the earth. The continuous process that known as water cycle. Okay. And in the water cycle, there are mainly 3 processes using in the water cycle, but here we will use the 4 processes. What are the processes? Now first one, that is evaporation. Okay. Second one, that is condensation. Third one is precipitation. And fourth one is same as evaporation, that is transpiration. Okay. So these are the main process involved in the water cycle. Yes or no? So let's understand what is water cycle. Okay. See, here water bodies are there. These are the water bodies. Okay. Here sun is here. So we will see this process: condensation, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and transpiration is as well as same as evaporation. Okay. So here water bodies are there and sun is here. Okay. When this sunlight falls on the water bodies, the water bodies will become heated, and the heated water that will be rises up, and when water changes to water vapor on heating, that process is known as evaporation. Known as evaporation. Okay. When these particles, water particles, will vaporized particles, that will be rises up, on the rises up, that will become the cooling, because in the higher place the temperature is very low. Okay. So that it is again changes to water particles, Okay. The water vapors changes to water particles, that process is known as condensation. Okay. And these water particles will be connect with each other, that form the clouds. Okay. And when these clouds will be heavy, that again come to the earth on the process of, by the process of rain, or this process is known as precipitation. Okay. This is rainfall. Okay, so these are three processes, but here we have written four processes. What do you mean by transpiration? Transpiration is same as the evaporation. Evaporation means the water changes to water particles on heating. That process is not transpiration. It means these water particles are coming from the surface water, like the lakes, rivers, ponds, oceans, from that. Okay, but our body also releasing some water, and as well as plants also releasing some water from them. That process is known as transpiration. Okay, evaporation of water from plants. This process is known as transpiration. Okay, so these are the process involved in the water cycle. Okay, so these are today's class. In next class, we will see what are the sources of water, why water level is decreasing, what is the water table. We will see in next class. Okay, thank you.